I had mentioned earlier how everything in the Dresden Files RPG has an aspect. Everything. Down to the campaign itself. But today I'm going to be talking to you about the aspects a city has. Because in the Dresden Files RPG, city creation is an extensive thing. It's not just something that you plop down and do. Unless you want to. We'll get to that later. In the meantime, city creation is featured fairly early on in the book. It's actually before character creation. And it really recommends that everyone works together as a table to help make the city. It recommends doing extensive research because odds are it's going to take place in the real world. For instance, the sample city that this gives you is Baltimore, which I'm pretty sure exists. In the Dresden Files RPG, your city is going to need some aspects. But not only is it going to need aspects, it is going to need themes, which are just major, themes the city has. It's going to need threats. Who are your characters going to be going up against? And each of these themes and threats is going to have what's called a face, or an NPC that represents this. And of course, that NPC is going to have their own aspects to deal with. So let's take a look at the sample city for Baltimore, which is featured on page 38 of the Your Story rulebook. It gives a sample. Threat. It says Federal Hill Park. It gives a little description of it. The idea: tunnels beneath hide the ghouls. The aspect that you can call upon is Gateway to Hell. And the face that it gives is Gilgamesh, which it lists as a ghoul tyrant. Okay. An idea of a theme is the fall line. Description: border between the coastal plain and the east coast of North America. The idea is that a corridor of magic energy flows through it. The aspect is on the ley line, and the name is Frank Walker, who is a civil engineer. What does all that mean, though? Well, at its core, it means that your campaign in the Dresden Files RPG is not going to be something that you can just pull out of your hat. It does take some time and effort to set it up. And while it does recommend you do this as a group, I find it kind of tedious to sit down at a table and come up with 9, you're going to need 9, themes and threats about a city. Well, at least as a player, if we're going to skip a session in the name of creation, it should be only for character creation. The way it recommends you do this kind of lends itself to one session is city creation, next character creation. And not everyone is going to be fun with that. So maybe the GM could sit down and do extensive research themselves, or you could use the Vancouver method. The Vancouver method, mentioned in this book, make it up. Find a couple of landmarks. For instance, here in Las Vegas, you might name a couple of the casinos if you didn't know anything else about the city, and use those as kind of your real-world tie-ins and just make up the rest of it. That's how I ran my Las Vegas campaign, and I live here. The important thing at the end of the day is that you have 9. You could maybe have less, but 9 lends itself really well to a dynamic city. 9 aspects of your city that your players can explore and call upon, that you have these 9 locations that you have to play around in. The odds are you're going to be solving some kind of mystery. And the 9 locations lends itself very well because then you as the GM can start running around and having your players kind of explore the city and see all of the cool work that you all put into it. This was kind of a quick one. I just wanted to talk about city creation really quickly. And with that, thank you for watching and have a great evening.